Welcome to Smart Health Keys. Before we dive in today, let me ask you something. Have you noticed lately that getting up from a chair takes just a little longer than it used to? Or maybe climbing the stairs feels heavier, even though the stairs haven't changed? If so, you're definitely not alone. Many folks over 60 often think, well, I guess I'm just getting old. But what if I told you this? These changes you're noticing, they could be early signs of something happening quietly inside your body. And here's the hopeful part. It can be reversed. Today, I want to walk with you through 8 early signs of muscle loss after 60. Because if we're not paying attention, these signs can slowly steal away your strength, your independence, even your confidence, piece by piece. I remember working with a gentleman named Robert, 68 years old. He used to love hiking. But recently, he told me that just stepping off a curb makes his legs shake. When I asked if he'd ever had an injury, he laughed and said, "No, I just figured it's age catching up with me." But when we looked closer, it wasn't just age, it was sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It creeps in quietly. It doesn't cause pain. But over time, it can change everything about how you move, how you live. So I invite you to stay with me in this video, because if you can spot these signs early, you can slow it down, even turn it around. Let's get started. Early sign number 1, it takes you longer to stand up, and you're not sure why. Let me ask you to think back to a recent moment. Maybe you were sitting on the couch at home or in your favorite cafe. Someone called your name and you went to stand up. But for some reason, your body didn't respond right away. You had to take a breath, maybe push off the armrest, lean forward just a bit to gather momentum, and then you stood. It didn't hurt. You weren't dizzy. But your legs, they just didn't feel like they used to. Have you ever felt something like that? A patient of mine, her name is Elaine, she's 65, once said something I'll never forget. "I'm not in pain, I just feel like my legs are weaker, like they don't move as easily as they used to." At first, she thought it was just fatigue. Maybe she walked a little more that day, no big deal. But the feeling kept coming back. Week after week, a little more noticeable each time. That's when she came to see me. And after a careful evaluation, it became clear. This was an early sign of silent muscle loss, something many people over 60 experience without even realizing. You see, muscle loss doesn't show up like a broken bone or a sprained ankle. It's quiet, subtle, sneaky. It's like an uninvited guest, coming into your home each day, taking just a little strength, a little mobility, until one day you realize standing up is a challenge. So let me ask you this. Are you paying attention to those small changes? In my years of practice, I've met so many people like Elaine. They all had one thing in common. They didn't recognize the signs early. And by the time they did, they had already lost more independence than they realized. But here's the good news. If you're watching this right now, if you've noticed that it's taking a little more effort to get up, then you still have time. Your body is trying to tell you something, quietly, and you can take action before it gets worse. Sign number 2, climbing stairs feels heavier than it used to. Let me ask you to notice something. Your staircase at home hasn't changed. Same number of steps, same height, same layout. But lately, why does it feel heavier to climb? It's not the groceries, it's not the shoes, it's your legs, as if you're carrying someone else up the stairs with you. One of my patients, Mr. Raymond, 72 years old, said something that really stayed with me. "I used to run upstairs to grab something and never think twice. Now I stand at the bottom, look up, and say, forget it. I don't need it that bad." That's the thing about muscle loss. It doesn't just affect your strength, it quietly starts chipping away at your quality of life, your daily joy. Something as simple as climbing stairs, which used to be second nature, suddenly becomes a mental hurdle. You move less, you start choosing stillness over motion, and that's when the cycle begins. The less you use your muscles, the faster you lose them. I want you to imagine this. You're climbing those stairs step by step, feeling heavier, not because of age, but because your internal strength is slowly slipping away, unnoticed. But here's the hope. If you catch it early, you can turn it around. Just 1 minute of gentle warm-up each morning. A little of the right nutrition your body is asking for. A glass of warm water and the morning sunlight on your skin. Your body is not betraying you. It's simply waiting for you to come back and care for it the way it deserves. Sign number 3. Losing interest in walking or standing for long. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you took a walk? Not because you had to not to get groceries or pick up the grandkids, but just to enjoy the fresh air, watch the clouds, or maybe to listen to that old favorite song of yours. Something I've noticed with many of my patients over 60 is that they slowly stop enjoying walks. It's not because they're lazy. It's because their legs get tired too quickly. They can't stand for long, and after just a few steps, their legs feel like giving out. One of my patients, Mr. Sam, 68 years old, once shared with me, "I used to walk my wife to the park every morning. Now, I barely make it past the gate before I find an excuse to turn back." He didn't say it outright, but I could tell. It wasn't just fatigue. It was the feeling of losing trust in his own body. That inner voice saying, "I'm not who I used to be anymore. What's the point of trying?" But here's the truth. I've seen people return to walking daily, not because they suddenly got stronger, but because they chose to believe again. They believe the body can recover, slowly, gently, with the right care. They believed weakness doesn't have to be permanent, as long as you take action. And here's something important. Losing interest in walking isn't just emotional. It's a warning sign of sarcopenia. As muscles weaken, we lose endurance, balance, and stability. Even the activities that once brought joy start to feel intimidating. So if lately you've been avoiding going outside or skipping your walks, standing less in the kitchen, cutting outings short, don't just blame it on getting old. Think of it as your body gently whispering, "Please take care of me before I can't ask anymore." Sign number 4, tripping more easily even though your floor hasn't changed. Let me ask you to imagine something. You're walking from the living room to the kitchen, like you do every day. The floor is the same tile you've walked on for years. Nothing has changed. And yet, you suddenly feel off. Like your legs didn't quite keep up with your upper body. You reach out for the table or a chair, just to steady yourself. Have you ever felt that moment? One of my patients, Ms. Linda, 72, once told me through tears, "Doctor, I taught for 30 years and never had a fall. But last month I tripped, right in my own kitchen." Here's the thing, she didn't feel dizzy. Her blood pressure was fine, but her legs just weren't as strong as they used to be. They couldn't stabilize her body the way they once did. That's one of the early and often missed signs of muscle loss in older adults. And the most dangerous part? Most people brush it off. We tend to think, "Oh, I was just clumsy." But no, that little trip, that almost fall, is your body trying to warn you. Because when your muscles get weaker, so do your reflexes. Your foot doesn't land the way it used to. Your balance becomes slower to react. You don't fall because the stairs are too high. You fall because your legs can no longer support you the same way. And as you already know, a fall at 30 might just leave a bruise, but a fall at 70? That could mean weeks in the hospital, or worse, losing your independence. So if you've started to notice, you trip on the corner of a table, you avoid stairs when no one's around, or you need something to hold on to just to get up, please, don't ignore it. That's your body quietly asking for help. And the good news? You can still step in if you start today. If this sounds familiar, leave a comment below and share your experience. I read every single one, and it means the world to me to know you're out there listening. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button. That one small click tells YouTube this is a message worth spreading to more older adults, just like you. Sign number 5, getting tired faster while doing everyday chores. Do you remember the days when cleaning the house for an hour didn't even faze you? Vacuuming the whole place, wiping down the counters, folding laundry, it all felt so routine. But lately, even just folding a few shirts, sweeping one corner of the room, or wiping the kitchen for a few minutes, and suddenly you're out of breath. You need to sit down. Your body says, "That's enough for now." One of my patients, Mr. George, he's 68, shared something with me during a regular checkup. "I used to carry a big bucket of water to water the plants, no big deal. Now just pulling the hose out, my shoulder aches and my back feels worn out." I looked at him and gently asked, "Do you think you're getting weaker?" He paused, then said quietly, "I thought maybe I was just being lazy, but it's not that." And he's right. It's not laziness. When your muscles begin to shrink and lose strength, it's not just about lifting heavy things. Even simple, everyday activities start to feel exhausting because muscles don't just help us move. They stabilize our joints, they support circulation, they even impact our energy levels and our mood. So if you're finding yourself getting tired faster, if you're lying down more often, not because you want to, but because you have to, that could be your muscles quietly asking for attention. And here's what I always say. The body never lies. It doesn't scream at first. It whispers, just a little louder each day. The only question is, are you listening? Sign number 6, unexplained weight loss, especially in arms and legs. I once asked one of my patients, Ruth, she's 70, have you changed your diet recently, eating less than usual? She shook her head. No, doctor, I still eat the same, but my clothes just keep getting looser. So what was happening? This is a sign many people overlook. You're losing weight, but it's not fat, it's muscle. I want you to take a moment and look at yourself in the mirror. Really look. Do your shoulders still look full and strong? Are your arms still firm? Do your thighs still feel sturdy and solid? If your body feels lighter, smaller, but not stronger, there's a chance your muscles are quietly fading away. And this is no small thing, because when you lose muscle, especially in your legs, you're slowly losing your independence. I've seen it many times. Someone drops a few pounds and thinks, that's good, right? Until suddenly, they can't stand up from the couch. They can't walk very far. And one small stumble turns into a fall because their legs no longer have the strength to hold them up. Please, don't wait until that happens. If you've noticed unexplained weight loss, especially in the lean parts of your body like your arms and thighs, get it checked. And don't brush it off as just aging. Sometimes the scale doesn't tell the full story, but your body always does. Sign number 7, poor sleep and waking up tired. There's something most people don't realize. Poor sleep can actually lead to muscle loss. You see, it's during deep sleep that your body begins the real work, repairing, restoring, and yes, rebuilding your muscles. But if you're waking up several times a night, if you toss and turn or rise in the morning feeling like you never really rested, that means your body hasn't had the time or the conditions it needs to recover. One of my patients, Larry, 67 years old, once told me, I go to bed early, but by 2 or 3 a.m., I'm wide awake. Then I just lie there staring at the ceiling until sunrise. Every morning I wake up feeling like I never went to bed at all. Does that sound familiar? When you don't get deep restorative sleep, your body stops producing enough growth hormone, a key player in building and maintaining muscle mass. So each restless night is a night your body misses its chance to heal. And over time, that adds up. Tired, can't sleep, lose muscle, feel weaker, sleep worse. It becomes a cycle. And here's the truth. Poor sleep isn't just about feeling tired the next day. It's one of the early warning signs that your body, especially after 60, is starting to lose its strength. So if you've been waking up tired even after 7 or 8 hours in bed, don't just blame it on age. Your muscles may be trying to tell you something. Sign number 8, feeling uneasy on uneven ground. And finally, this one might feel familiar to many of you. Have you ever stepped off a curb or walked across a bumpy sidewalk and felt a quiet unease inside? Not because the path was too difficult, but because you no longer fully trust your legs to hold you steady? A small step down, a patch of uneven pavement, a gentle slope, they become more than just terrain. They become mental barriers, not because you're getting old, but because your legs may not have the strength they once did, and your body knows it. One of my older patients, a sweet lady in her early 70s, once told me, I used to love walking at the park, but now, if I see even a slight hill or uneven path, I turn around. I'm afraid I might fall. That broke my heart a little, not just because she was scared, but because that fear had taken away something she once loved. You see, muscle loss isn't just about weakness. It's about losing confidence in your own body. It's about shrinking your world bit by bit, avoiding steps, skipping outings, saying no to adventures, not because you want to, but because something inside whispers, be careful. And that's when muscle loss truly begins to rob you, not just of strength, but of joy, freedom, and peace of mind. But here's the hopeful truth. You can do something about it. Even after 60, even after 70, your body is still listening. It's still responding. You just have to give it the right care and a little trust again. Let's recap. As you can see, muscle loss doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, through little signs we often ignore. Taking longer to get up, getting tired from simple chores, losing weight without trying, sleeping poorly, or feeling anxious when stepping on uneven ground. I'm not sharing this to scare you. I'm sharing it to help you notice, because when you understand what's really happening, you can take action, gently, gradually, and with confidence. In the next video, I'll walk you through how to start, simple steps you can take from home to begin rebuilding strength naturally. Because you deserve more than just a long life. You deserve a strong, steady, and joyful one. Thank you for staying with me this far. If you've been wondering, so what do I do now? Don't miss the next video, where I'll show you how to begin restoring your muscles without needing a gym. And if you'd like to join me on this journey to strong and healthy aging, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because every small act of self-care you do today is a step toward the freedom and confidence you truly deserve.